Today, we are tier ranking every offense in the NFL. The ball is on the 25. It is 1st and 10. Welcome back to the show. Today, we got a great one for y'all. As I mentioned, we're tier ranking every single offense in the National Football League. But before we do that, Metro, sir, my co-host, my good friend, how are you doing today, man?
Having a great day. I'm excited to talk all things offense. As you can see, we have the different tiers, so I'm going to let Cade explain it to you guys.
I would be honored, sir. Here are the tiers from top to bottom. First up, we have unstoppable. It is just, as a D coordinator, you are throwing up a prayer and hoping you could stop these guys and keep them to 3 points on any kind of drive. Next, we have great. These are still elite tier type of offenses. You need to game plan very seriously when you're playing these kind of opponents. Next, we have good. Good is extremely respectable in this tier list, just not the kind of oomph you get in great and unstoppable. Average is, it's the league average. You're not moving the needle, but you should be able to put up about 24-ish points a game. Meh is, we got some serious questions here, whether it's a bad O-line or limited weapons. We need to fix something on this offense, or maybe just a bad play caller. And then finally, questions everywhere. This is in the stage of a new rebuild or just teams that have holes all over the place and not a lot of star power to begin with. So, Metro, here is our entire league in order, in alphabetical order. Do we want to jump around the place, or we just want to go in alphabetical order and be civilized?
Let's stay classy here. Let's go alphabetical.
Let's stay classy. First up, we have the Arizona Cardinals. Man, it'd be fun to be a Cardinals fan and be the first on every list. The Cardinals, man, they have Kyler Murray, as we know. They have Marvin Harrison Jr., who should take a step up in year 2. Some pieces on the O-line, but overall, they're not great or unstoppable. But I think what moves the needle this year comes down to Marvin Harrison Jr. Metro, where would you rank them today? And if you were to project in the 2025 like we are right now, where would you put these guys?
Yeah, so they ranked 11th in points per game last year with 23.5. Definitely an above-average offense. It's basically the same unit as last year. You're just assuming that Marvin Harrison takes the big step forward. I would put them in good. I don't think they're a great offense because I don't think the offensive line is particularly special. I think the receiving core surrounding Marvin is a little bit suspect. You know, great tight end. I love James Conner. I think they have a decent play caller. I'd put them in good.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Like you said, if Marvin Harrison steps up, we're probably looking at great now, right?
If he steps up to like Jamar Chase levels, but I'm not going to go that far though.
Yeah, okay. We will stay civilized and put the Cardinals right here in the good tier. Next, we have the Atlanta Falcons. They started off last year with Kirk Chains and finish it with their first-round pick, Michael Penix Jr. They have Bijan Robinson and Drake London, some very serious weapons, and some good pieces on the O-line. They lost some on the O-line, though, this year. This one's hard. I feel like it comes down a lot to the rookie, or I guess sophomore year quarterback. What say you, Metro?
I'm a big Penix guy. He was very high on my board last year or 2024 draft. I thought he was better than McCarthy, Nix, so on and so forth by a pretty wide margin. And he got drafted, I think, both above those guys. So clearly I was not alone with that one. They ranked 14th in points per game last year with, below average quarterback play for most of it. Their baseline is average. I would put them right behind Arizona, though. I think that's where I'd put them at.
I think I'm right there with you, man. Like, if Penix is, like you just mentioned, better than the year Kirk had last year, I think we're cooking with gas. You can just hand it off to Bijan, or maybe not Bijan. How do you say it? I just learned this over the past couple days.
Bijan? I saw that too. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm a Texas fan. I've grown up my whole life saying Bijan. Just for him to come out and say, no, it's Bijan or Bijan. I'm like, all right, whatever, dude.
Yeah, I think it's Bijan. That's right. It was Bijan. That's right. So that's his actual name. Now we know. But Bijan, brand new name, is going to carry this team on his back. And then if Penix works out, the sky is the limit. Oh, man, Metro. The next team we have here is the Baltimore Ravens. And the Ravens are no joke. Why is that? Oh, we know a guy named Lamar Jackson, an absolute demon at the quarterback position. And this thing just goes, man. He's the centerpiece that makes all of this work. When you look at the rest of their team, obviously you got Derrick Henry and a pretty good O-line. You feel good about Flowers at some good pieces, but I'm not like, they're not stud weapons, right? Like, they got good weapons, but they're not changing the whole game. Lamar is the centerpiece that holds us all together. With that being said, any team that can't stop a mobile quarterback, I think they're virtually unstoppable. And especially when you compare them to the entire league. But Metro, if you think we should go lower, what do you think?
No, it's unstoppable. They were third in points per game. They do not have like the greatest receiving core ever, but they have elite depth. They have a great running back, 2 tight ends that are really good, an awesome offensive line, and to me, the second or third best quarterback, and probably the most unstoppable quarterback, frankly. So, yeah, they're easily in the unstoppable tier. It's just going to be a question of who's in front and who's behind.
Approved. Let's put him right here in the unstoppable tier and move on to the next team. Hello, yep. Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, MVP. Do we put him? The question. Let's just cut to the chase. Are they in front of Baltimore or behind them? You got to kind of like compare the whole offense as a whole. What was the number last year, Metro, when it came to points?
Buffalo was second in 30.6. Baltimore was third in 30.1. And Baltimore, I think, beat Buffalo in the regular season, and then Buffalo beat Baltimore in the playoffs. So it's neck and neck. For me, I lean Baltimore. I think Josh Allen is in the same category of unstoppable as Lamar is, but Derrick Henry is better than James Cook. Zay Flowers is better than Khalil Shakir or Keon Coleman. I think the Bills might have the better offensive line and probably the better play caller, but it's neck and neck. I would give the slight edge to Baltimore, though.
Okay, very interesting. I'm just going to make a counter argument for any Bills fans out there. You could argue that Derrick Henry's production at his age may fall off this year, which is an absolute anchor on that offense. And I'll take the youth in the Bills with their skill players. But I'm just trying to throw something in the mix there. But I agree with you. I think Baltimore's better. And at the end of the day, I know he was MVP last year, but I would take Lamar Jackson over Josh Allen. Hot take. Anything else you got here on this little comparison we got going?
I don't know if I agree or disagree with your take there. I'm like kind of in the same, but like the Josh Allen Lamar Jackson conversation is so interesting to me.
Picky, yeah.
I mean, it's like you can't go wrong either way. Bills fans will be like, no, we want Josh. Ravens fans are like, no, we want Lamar. For me, I guess I'd probably go with Josh just because he's a little bit more, how do I word this, schematic proof. I feel like I can put Josh in any scheme and he'll be fine. Whereas with Lamar, he'll be successful no matter where he goes, but he'll be even more successful in an offense that utilizes his legs. If you go to a certain offense that wants him to be a pocket passer, he'll be good, one of the best, but he won't be Joe Burrow or anybody like that.
That's fair. I completely agree with you. Yeah, so respectfully, they each have their own strengths. They are both absolute god-tier quarterbacks, and we're going to lock them in this order. We're going to have the Bills and then the Baltimore Ravens holding down the number 1 spot, but we're going to go forward and see who pops up now. Next, we have the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young, a tale of 2 seasons, catches fire in the back half of it. They get Tedero McMillan in the first round. Now they have Tedero McMillan, Xavier Legette, and then, of course, Adam Thielen, the all-star wide receiver. What does this season boil down to for the Panthers? I think if I had to predict where they land, I go meh, but I'm rooting for them to be average. But what are your thoughts? I'm just keeping it realistic here. Not everybody can be in good and great.
Yeah, their ceiling to me is average. Their floor is meh. Last year, 23rd in points per game. Fun fact, let me pull the numbers up. They ranked 6th in points per game in the final 3 games with 31.3 points per game through the last 3. And they, in their last home game, or I guess their last game, they scored 44 points versus Atlanta. So if there's anything to kind of take away, the back end of the year was pretty sweet for Carolina. Ted McMillan steps in, great offensive line, some good weapons. I'm going to throw a bone. I'll put them in, if it was my list, I would put them in the back of average.
Let's do it. Let's put them up to average, and that's
we
where
could change it.
No, I'm aligned. I completely agree. I think Bryce Young takes a step forward this year. I think he's a genius quarterback, and I think he's going to overcome the obstacles. And I have one team I'm kind of eyeing here, Metro. I'm going to pull up to the front. When you compare a team like the Raiders, who have Geno Smith and an all-star running back, rookie sensation in Ashton Jeanty, Brock Bowers, Do you feel better about the Raiders or the Panthers this year personally? Where do you stand there?
Ooh, that is a great question. I feel better about the Raiders because I know what I'm getting from them. Long term, I feel good about both. Bryce is just kind of the flip of the coin there. If Bryce is good, then Carolina's good. If Bryce is bad, we are restarting then and rebuilding again. So I feel better about Las Vegas's offense, though. They have a proven tight end in Brock Bowers, a proven quarterback in Geno. I think Ashton Genty is going to be legit, and Jacoby Myers is a good enough starting quarterback. I do think Carolina has the better offensive line and maybe arguably the better depth. I like their receiving core's depth, and I like their coaching as well. So Carolina has some pros. It's like a slight edge, though, to Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm there with you. Like, just the star power in Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty is going to be pretty hard to stop. And I know Ashton Genty hasn't taken a single snap in the NFL, but guys, let's just keep it a buck here. He's going to be pretty damn nasty.
Yep.
So let's put the Raiders right here in front. Just wanted to bring them to the front of this conversation because I thought that was a good comparison. Next, we have the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams and the boys and Ben Johnson. This was mid-average last year, but watch them propel into unstoppable this year. Guys, calm down. I'm just kidding. But I think they're definitely going to be good this year with all the weapons they have and in a much improved O-line. If you said great, Metro, I would not fight you either. What are your thoughts? The Bears are a complete projection type of team.
Yeah, complete projection. They were 28th in points per game last year. Just a bad offense. Their final 3 games, they scored 14.7 points. Interestingly enough, despite the offense being way more talented, they actually scored 21.2 points per game in 2023, and now they're down about 3 points. So,
wow,
that took them last year. They would have been somewhere in the 20s. This year or somewhere in the early 20s. This year they're in the late 20s. I believe in Caleb. I know there's been a lot of rumors around training camp and, Caleb's been struggling, but I don't read into that too much, to be honest with you. I would rather my quarterback struggle now than in the regular season. I think there will be some early struggles for sure because it's a very different system, and it's a system that I don't know if Caleb's the perfect fit for, frankly.
Ooh, interesting.
With that said, and I like Ben Johnson's system. For me, Ben Johnson, he works best, and I mean this with all due respect to Jared Goff, Ben Johnson works best with like a robot at quarterback. He doesn't need a Mahomes, an Allen, a Burrow, he needs a Burrow basically. He needs a guy who is just going to make the right throw every single time. Can get occasionally creative, but gets his drop back, scans the field, 1 read, 2 read, 3 read. All right, I'm throwing to the open guy. Caleb he could do that, but he's somebody who he likes to get a little risky sometimes. He likes to go a little crazy. We'll see if it meshes. The talent around him is just, it's great. Great receivers. They're like 4 deep there.
Top 5 in the NFL, talent-wise, question mark? Do you think that with all the receivers they have?
If they did not have DeAndre Swift, I'd say yes. If they had
Fair.
Rico Dowell at running back, because I do not like DeAndre Swift. I don't think he's a good running back.
Rico Dowdle's a crazy upgrade, but okay.
I know. Hey, 1,000-yard running back last year.
Yeah,
if they had a Rico, okay, I'll do something better. If they had a Chuba Hubbard,
I'm sold.
Then this would be a top 5 supporting cast. But I do have some question marks with the quarterback, the fit, and the running back game or the running game. I just don't think it's going to be terribly great. So I lean, man, this is tough because I do think they'll take a step forward. I lean average, top of average, to be honest with you. The talent is there. It's just that I have a feeling it's going to take a little bit, and it could kind of push them to being a bit more of an average offense, which for the Chicago Bears, they're going to have a top 10 defense. It probably ends up working out totally fine for them.
Yeah, I think this comes back to the saying, and I've been working on sayings, Metro. Paper doesn't play, because if it did, you win a lot more games, and that is the Bears' offense to a T. They got the best O coordinator, a.k.a. head coach now in the league, and one of the most talented quarterbacks and a crazy receiving core. They have infinite weapons. With that being said, Caleb has to break some bad habits, and when he does, I don't know who the hell is going to stop him is my point. He's got so much talent, and if he can get into a rhythm in that Ben Johnson offense, the league is cooked, and I am shaking in the NFC North. Anything else we got on the Bears before we move forward? We put them in the top of average tier here to confirm.
No, yeah, I totally agree with what you said, and I look forward to hearing more of your sayings.
It's good, goofy. Next, we got the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow. Burrow is disgusting and almost clawed their way back into the playoffs last year. I've been watching Hard Knocks because I'm missing football right now, and they almost got there just about half a game off from getting back into the playoffs. But the offense is unstoppable. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow, and that's kind of it. You know, you got a pretty good running back in Chase Brown, who's young and upcoming, but nothing that's gonna make you go, oh shit, we're playing this kind of RB this week. But I feel great with the Bengals offense. Not unstoppable, though, because they're kind of one-dimensional in my eyes. But I could be wrong. What do the stats say, Metro?
Well, I only have points per game.
That's
I
all we
come
need.
unprepared. Yep, 27.8 points per game, 7th best in the NFL. I mean, you can kind of sum up their season by saying 3 names. T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, nothing else. And that's probably what it's going to be even more of this year. They just signed Shamar Stewart, which is good. I mean, that took forever. Should have been done months ago. They're hopefully going to get the Trey Hendrickson stuff worked out. I think they'll be an improved team. I think they can make the playoffs. I think, offensively, I hope they're a little bit more balanced now that they know what they have in Chase Brown and they can take some of the pressure off of Joe Burrow. But, I mean, it's still going to be a very heavy passing attack, focusing in on Jamar and Joe and all those tight ends and stuff. The offensive line still needs some help. So it's an offense that has some issues, but it is absolutely carried hard by those top 2 receivers and that top-tier quarterback. Because of that, I think you kind of have to put it in great. It's not quite unstoppable, although some nights they can be, but it's probably more great.
What's a team with a shit offense? I'm just kind of looking around right here. Someone who could plug in. If we put in like Chase, Higgins, and Burrow into like some team with a cheek offense and a good defense, who makes them Super Bowl champions? Anybody you see here? Because I'm looking for. Like, you take the Colts, I feel really, really good about this team all of a sudden.
If you put Chase and Higgins on the team,
yeah, dumb, like very dumb, obvious statement, but I just
I just worry about the Anthony Richardson. He just sucks.
No, I'm saying Burrow too. Just take the whole trio and just work with the defense, and you're in the playoffs now. You're in a deep run.
Yes, Indianapolis. Frankly, the next team we are talking about, you put Burrow, Higgins, and Chase in Cleveland. They got some pieces there.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. It's a great conversation and a great segue. The Bengals are going to go here great in the great tier by themselves. And a team that picks at 1 a lot, the Cleveland Browns, missed out on the Joe Burrow lottery. And they're kind of looking at their orange in-division rivals and going, man, damn it, we couldn't have got that guy if we had him. How different life would be. Especially for Kevin Stefanski. But here we are. We have Deshaun Watson and 4 other quarterbacks, including Shedeur Sanders, Kenny Pickett, Flacco, and Dylan Gabriel. Is there anybody else I'm mentioning, Metro, in that quarterback room?
Man, throw me in there. I could probably do just as good. Look, this is a terrible, terrible situation. By the way, like this sucks. Every time I go on Instagram or Twitter and I'm looking up the Browns and seeing how things are going, like, it just sounds so depressing. I feel just so bad for Shedeur and Dylan because those like I'm seeing the stats of who's getting the most reps, and it's like why is 42-year-old Joe Flacco getting 30 reps when we should be giving 30 reps to Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel? It's like we don't need to see more from Joe Flacco. We know who Flacco is. Like he's 40 years old, and like Shedeur's getting like 6 passes a game or a possession. I'm like, this is silly. I mean, they're literally setting him up to fail, and I think it's a little disappointing. But 32nd in points per game. They did not seriously improve at quarterback. Offensive line probably still sucks. They're older. They're injury prone. Judy's there. Cool. Quinshaw Judkins is, we'll see.
God.
Probably not. You got Dylan Sampson. I like that. It sucks. They're last. I think they will. I can't think of a worse offense, frankly.
Just the worst situation possible, too. Like, sometimes you look at some talent and you're like, you know what? Like, the Titans, for example. You look at that team and you're like, it's going to be rough sledding, but I feel good about the leadership in that room. The Browns and the quarterback scenario and the running back going to prison are, like, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess, brother.
It is insane to me that you have a franchise that has been this bad and this, like, poorly managed for this long. Like, you would think at some point they would figure out, hey, let's just commit, like when they had Baker Mayfield. Like, what are we doing, dude? I get it. There's some revisionist history with the Baker Mayfield stuff. Like, Baker was not great there.
Yeah.
And I understood the Deshaun Watson move at the time, but you were trading for Deshaun Watson when he was dealing with all the question marks off the field, and then you gave him like this almost fully guaranteed contract. Like, it was just so stupid. Like, yes, he got over the legal stuff, but then he went out there and sucked, and you deserved it. Like, it's just so stupid. Like, this is a team that just does not learn. And this year, they doubled down on who they are. They said, you know what? We're a circus. Let's go pick up Shador. Let's go get Dylan Gabriel. Let's have 4 quarterbacks and just add to the circus. And I truly, if I was a quarterback next year, if I am Arch, I think Nussmeier's a junior, anybody who's a junior that may be considering the 2026 draft, if you see that the Browns have the first overall pick, go back to college. Do not go.
Get the damn portal. Collect the check.
Nope. Yes, go get a check from the portal, because I would not want to be a quarterback. If I was Arch, I would genuinely pull an Eli Manning just to not go to Cleveland. And I think if I was any quarterback, I'd do the exact same thing.
Honestly, do you know how poetic it would be if the Manning pulled a Manning on draft day?
Hey, get him to LA, man. Get him to LA.
Ooh, don't start that. If he becomes a Ram, shit's about to get real dicey in the NFC. That's going to be fun with Sean McVay. Anything else you got on this wonderful team called the Cleveland Browns?
No. Did you see the revealing of the helmet and the dude fell into the ocean?
No, I haven't.
So funny, bro.
Yeah. Oh boy, I got something to look forward to after this.
Yeah. So they they revealed a helmet. I don't know if they've officially done it yet, but it's like this
like an
brown. It's an alternate brown helmet. It looks terrible, by the way. And they had a big, like, when they do like the floaties and they put a bunch of air in there for like Christmas and Halloween, essentially like that. And they did it by the ocean. And they're unveiling it. They have like a blanket on top. They pull the blanket off. The guy with the camera's like walking around. The dude fell into the ocean, bro. And it was the most Cleveland Browns thing I've ever seen. It was so funny. I didn't even notice it at first, and I watched it over again. I was like, oh my gosh. You had like a close-up of it. You had like the far extended version. It just gets, and the mascots in front of him were like in front of the helmet, and they were like, "We gotta stop the show and check to make sure this guy's good." You have the mascots looking over the edge. It was so funny, bro.
So is the camera just like this, and you just see it like go sideways all of a sudden?
I didn't see that angle, but there's a drone. They had a drone going around it.
Oh, bro, I want his angle so bad.
It might be out there, but I bet you it's so funny. That whole thing. The Browns, man, they are a disaster.
Any Cleveland fans, we have so much respect for you.
Yes. Hit the transfer portal. Hit the transfer portal.
Honestly, you've earned it. You've earned to change teams, and just go to Buffalo, man. Just go somewhere fun in the north that you can go tailgate at. A little bit of a road trip, that's okay. Much better than eternal sadness. Let's go to a team that...
Eternal sadness.
The Dallas Cowboys have accomplished as much as the Cleveland Browns when it comes to making the AFC or NFC championship games in their own respective conferences in the past, 30 years. Metro, that's enough dunking for me. But here are the Cowboys with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, and now George Pickens. And you got Javonte Williams at running back along with Jaden Blue. Is that correct? There you go.
Super young offensive line, by the way.
Young Tyler is coming in. The O-line of Tyler is coming in strong, man. They are looking real nice. And Metro, what did they rank last year? Where do you see them falling in 2025?
They ranked 21st in points per game. It's important to note quarterback missed most of the year. Team sucked, and defensively they were terrible. The year prior, they were 30.1 points per game, which was the highest in the NFL. So top-tier offense in 2023, middle-of-the-pack offense in 2024. I like the Cowboys offense, frankly. Now, I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm very biased, of course. But even if I'm taking my personal bias out of it, you got your quarterback in Dak, who has not looked great in training camp, but Dak always looks terrible in training camp. I don't really take too much from it. He throws a bunch of picks. I don't take too much from it. But you got Pickens, who's doing really good. CeeDee Lamb is killing everybody. I worry a bit about the offensive line. It's just so young and unproven, but it's going to be a downhill motion-based rushing attack, which I'm excited for, kind of like what the Detroit Lions do. It's good. It's not great. It's good. I would put it probably in the middle between the two teams already in there.
I'm aligned. Do I take Dak Prescott or do I take Michael Penix Jr. to lead my team? Some people don't like Dak. Let's take Dak all day long. The veteran who's had some great seasons before in the regular season. Anything else in the Cowboys, Metro, your favorite team?
No, it's going to be an interesting year. I'm excited, but I'm also not. I'm excited for that week 1 game, but I just have a feeling they're going to pull a stinker at some point and just completely ruin everything for me.
That would be on brand. I will say that y'all have like so much upside though with the Wallet Tyler and all that new weapon in George Pickens. Running back room's the only real question, and I trust Dak regular season. So y'all are going to do great. Keep your head up,
coach.
King. And oh yeah, shit, that's probably a problem.
Yeah, that is a bit of a problem. We'll see. I've liked everything I've heard from him so far. He seems like a good dude, but good dudes don't win championships. Look at Bill Belichick.
Just the straight Bill. Bill's like, yeah, don't care. Got my young girlfriend, and
he's good.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He's enjoying himself. Unk's having a great time. Next, we have the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix, Sean Payton, making magic happen. You got Cortland Sutton. You got R.J. Harvey, now the rookie, with also J.K. Dobbins as well. This one should be interesting. Also, they have a kick-ass O-line to mention. I feel good is where we start. And if you want to convince me to great, we can do that. But what are your thoughts, Metro? You want to pull down? You want to pull up? Where are you feeling?
They were 10th in points per game, 24.0. Man, I don't know how I feel about this team in terms of their offense. I know how I feel about their defense. This is, my opinion, the best defense in the NFL. This has the potential to be a top 10 offense. It might already be considered a top 10 offense. It's good. I don't know if it hits the great mark quite yet, just because I don't really think they have that true difference maker. I do love the R.J. Harvey, J.K. Dobbins duo. I like the offensive line. I think the offensive line's like truly one of the best in the league. I love Bo Nix. I do think Bo, he's not like the most insane high upside guy. It's between Arizona and Denver for me, and I think I lean Denver. I think the offensive line kind of pushes it over for me.
There you go, man. Like, when shit's not going their way, that O-line can carry them out of whatever situation they're in, even late in the season when it's cold and you just got to run the ball for about 2 yards. Let's put Denver right here at the top of good tier, in front of the Cardinals, the Cowboys, and the Falcons. Next, we have the Detroit Motor City Kitties, the Detroit Lions. The Lions last year were virtually unstoppable, but this year they lose Ben Johnson. This could be, not just Ben Johnson, but also lost Mr. Ragnow, all-pro center. I'm not putting them unstoppable, Metro, and honestly, I don't know if you could convince me to put them there, but I do think they'll be like right below the Bengals production-wise and great. I am scared of this offense if I'm on the other side of this team, but I'm not fearing them like I would Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know. I would give him the benefit of the doubt. I do agree that the loss of Ben Johnson could be like huge, right? It could either be a seamless transition or this team is just back to being, a mediocre. Well, they won't be mediocre, but just not as good. They were first in points per game by a pretty wide margin. I would give them the faith. They have such a great supporting cast around Goff. Could things go down the tube? Yes. I would still trust them. I wouldn't put them in front of Baltimore or Buffalo, though. I would put them in front of Cincinnati pretty comfortably, though. I'd put them in the bottom of unstoppable.
You know what, Metro? Twist my arm. I'll put my team in the the very back of unstoppable. The Detroit Lions, like you mentioned, they are stacked with talent. Can that O-line hold up when you lose your star center? And how does the transition from Ben Johnson go? Next, we have the Green Bay Packers with Jordan Love, Mr. LaFleur, and just a stable of wide receivers with their new one named Matthew Golden. What did they rank last year, Metro?
8th in points per game with 26.1. So pretty good offense.
We're getting a lot of good offenses. I feel like we're going to go through a bunch of cheeks here in a second. I'm not going to lie.
It's a little bit of a mixed road down the board here, but we're getting a lot of good ones so far. I would say Green Bay is in that great conversation right behind Cincinnati. I think that's probably the perfect spot for them. Great rushing attack. Man, they tripled, quadrupled, whatever the fifth one is, completely doubled down on the offensive line. And they genuinely spent like $100 million in the offensive line this offseason. It was bizarre. But, hey, build the trenches. I respect it. They're going to be a rushing attack team. They're going to have Jordan Love kicking back, doing some crazy things. Golden's going to be the safety blanket. It's going to be a good offense next year.
Shit's going to be fun to watch. Green Bay is a super sleeper team for the championship in 2025. Next, we have the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud takes a sophomore slump, but he still won a playoff game. So is that a slump? You know, he fought through the challenges and still made some shit happen, even on that team. You got injuries, a couple of things in the air, some new wide receivers on this team. The O-line is absolute dog shit if we're keeping it a buck. Where do we put this team, Metro? Out of respect, I feel like we have to put them in the back of good, but there's an argument for the O-line to put them in the front of average.
I would put them in good. CJ's great. I love the receivers. Man, that offensive line stinks. But I think they have better coaching on the offensive end now. Bobby Slowick's out the door. You bring somebody new in, who I'm a big fan of. I like this offense. You know, last year they were 18th in points per game. I expect a bit of a step forward. Maybe not like top 8, top 10, but if you say 11 or 12, that sounds about right. So I would put them in front of Atlanta, you know, right there with Dallas, and, you know, maybe later in the video we could switch the two if we change our opinions.
Cool. I like that too. Let's put them right here next to Atlanta and the Dallas Cowboys in the good tier. Next, we have the Indianapolis Colts. I don't know what the hell to say here, Metro. They got a running back and some good O-linemen. And that's kind of where I stop with the quarterback situation. I have a lot of questions here. Questions everywhere, though. That's not quite where I have them. I'd go meta average. But if you feel really strongly about something else, I don't know, stats, what would you say?
They were 16th points per game, 22.2.
Okay,
it's always going to be difficult with the quarterback situation being the way it is. I think it's a pretty talented offense that did lose some pieces on the offensive line, but their tackles are still there. Quentin Nelson's still there. Jonathan Taylor's a stud. They also have, I think, DJ Giddens, I believe, is also there, and Khalil Herbert. So I like that. I think the receiving core is good. I think it maybe lacks like a true number one alpha, but I think there's, you know, 4 dudes that can all play. The big question mark just comes with Anthony Richardson. Can he play? Is he a capable starter? I would put them in average. I'd put them probably right behind Chicago.
Interesting. And honestly, I respect it. Like you said, the wide receiver core has players, just not dudes. And that sounds like a really dumb statement, but you either got a wide receiver 1 or you don't. And they got a bunch of wideout 2s and a lot of promising wideout 3s. Let's put the Colts right here in the average tier, behind the Bears and in front of the Raiders. Ooh, Duval. Next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars with Travis Hunter. And based off camp reports, which don't mean shit, but based off camp reports, he's taking more defensive snaps than offensive snaps. Does that actually translate when it comes to playing on Sunday? Who knows? But we have to judge his offense based off those statistics. I would put him in average just because I haven't seen it personally from their quarterback, pretty man, Trevor Lawrence. But what say you, Metro?
I think I'm also there with you. Can we make a change? I think we should put Carolina down to meh. I think we're maybe a little overrating it, and meh's not like the worst case in the world, but they're not going to be like a top 20 offense more than likely. But in terms of Jacksonville, you know, Brian Thomas Jr. had a great rookie year. You know, you have a trio of running backs with Bayshore 2 and now added in there that could be pretty interesting. Trevor Lawrence, I think your right side of your offensive line's good. A couple questions on the left side, but it should get the job done. I think it's an average offense that it has the potential of being really good if Liam Cohen just goes in there and completely flips the script. But I would put them right behind Chicago, Well, actually, I put them behind Indianapolis. That's where I put them at.
I'm there with you, brother. Let's put them right behind Indy and in front of the Raiders in the average tier. Next, we have the KC Chiefs. And Metro, pull up the stats, man. How many points did they score last year? Because I feel like over time it's kind of the dynasty effect. Your team adjusts, it has a better defense, and the offense doesn't score as much points as it once did. But where are they, Metro? Keep me humble.
They were 12th in points per game with 23.1, and I would probably put them in good. I would put them probably in front of Arizona, right behind Denver.
That feels crazy, but it's the truth. It's the reality we're in.
I mean, I have a lot of questions with the offensive line, especially with no Joe Thuney. I have a lot of questions with the running back room because you have a dude coming off of injuries. Kelsey's not Travis Kelce anymore. He's still good, but he's not Travis Kelce. Rashee Rice is probably going to get suspended at some point. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Even with Rashee Rice, with Rice is obviously a big-time upgrade. You know, without Rice, though, the offense is just not as dynamic. So this would be a team that wins because of Mahomes clutching things in the fourth quarter and a great defense and a great play caller. There's still not another team in the NFL that I trust to win a game, you know, in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes to go, down by 3, put the ball in Mahomes' hand, the game's over. He's winning. So, yeah, I'd put him in good.
I got nothing else to say. Well said, King. Let's put them right here in the good tier and go on to their rivals, the L.A. Chargers. The Chargers have is Najee Harris going to play this year? Yeah, he'll play, but we got some questions right there. Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton with QJ, Ladd McConkey. They got somebody else too, Trey Harris. Justin Herbert is doing his thing. They got 2 awesome tackles on the O-line. I'm feeling good about this team. I think they have to prove great personally, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I honestly, I think you put every single, AFC West team kind of in the same little chunk there. I mean, it's like they're all really decent, good offense. Not decent. They're all good offenses, but they, aren't necessarily that unstoppable tier. I think the Chargers, though, have the best chance of being the best offense, right? I think, great offensive line, great running backs, great quarterback. I actually like their receiving core and kind of the dynamics that they have in that room. So it's between Denver and LA, and I'm really close, but I'll give the edge to LA.
Let's go. Let's put the Chargers right here at the top of the good tier in front of Denver and their rivals, the KC Chiefs. Next, we have the LA Rams. Matthew Stafford off a ski trip coming right back, and he's going to be the head quarterback of the Rams. Now, you got Sean McVay calling plays, which also makes shit a lot easier. But this team's just good to go, man. They score a lot of points most of the time, and I'm feeling great unless you're feeling good, Metro. But what are the stats?
Well, I mean, can't really take too much from the stats because there's a lot of injuries for a lot of the season. They start off the year really bad, and then towards the back end, they figured some things out. They're 19th in points per game with 21.9. I expect this offense to be a lot better next year. McVay, by the way, took a boat trip. Dude was jacked, like absolutely jacked. Not even kidding.
But what do you wait? Somebody was on a boat on an NFL team. Do you know what that means, Metro?
Oh shoot.
Do you know what that means?
Oh,
there's questions everywhere now. Do you know what that means?
Yep. Means they ain't going nowhere.
But what are you saying? I interrupted you. He was on a boat trip and looking ripped? What are you saying?
He was on a boat trip with his family and I guess his wife, and I don't know, paparazzi's out there taking pics of head coaches nowadays, which is just weird. Anyways, the dude was jacked as hell. It was weird. Anyways, look, Sean McVay's there, Matthew Stafford's there, Devontae Adams. Hopefully Stafford's okay and can be healthy for the full season. I know it's not easy to say that because he's, almost 40. But, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, great offensive line, at a tight end, and Terrence Ferguson. They have what it takes to be a great offense. So, for me, it's a great offense. I would say I'd probably put it right behind Green Bay, though.
Yeah, I'm approved. Let's put it right here in the great tier behind Green Bay and also the Bengals. Next, we got the Miami Dolphins. And if we're talking about September, guys, this team can make shit happen. But if we're talking about December or, December 25th, it gets too cold for these folks. And that's just the truth. But they're so damn explosive, and you have Tyreek Hill. But he's regressing. A lot of variables here on this team, Metro. I don't know where to put him, so I'm just going to let you have the floor.
It's a tough one. It's a very similar kind of conversation here between them and Dallas, where Dallas was number 1 in points per game last year. Miami was 3rd in points per game last year. This year, they're both like 21 and 22 right next to each other. Tua was out for most of the year. That really stifled their offense when Tua came back. Offense was better, but not by much. I mean, it was still a lot of issues on this team. I would, honestly, I'd probably put them in good, like literally right in front of Dallas, right behind Dallas. No, I'd put them behind Dallas because I like Dallas's offensive line a bit more. But look, if you're a team that's above 500, you're going to smoke them. If you're a team below 500, you're going to get smoked. So that's just how Miami works, man. If you have a good secondary, you'll win. If you have a bad secondary, you're going to lose. If you have some pass rushers, that's what Miami will do. I don't know. Have you looked at Miami's schedule? I don't know what their schedule looks like.
Honestly, I haven't. I've gone through a lot of schedules, but not Miami's.
If Miami's schedule is anything easy, we're talking about a playoff contender. If they have a bunch of sub 500 games, and if they have a path, I mean that offense will be good. Like they have a good offensive coordinator or great offensive minded head coach, good quarterback, one healthy and not in the snow, and some good receivers. So it'll be a fun offense when things are clicking, but when things are not clicking, it'll be a terrible offense. So it has the potential to be great to unstoppable some weeks, and then other weeks it's meh, basically.
Man, that's perfect. I like the point you made about if you're .500 or higher, you're going to put belt to ass on them. But if you're lower, get ready, buddy. They're about to rain bombs over Baghdad on your team with Tyreek Hill and Waddle. Let's go to our next team in the Minnesota Vikings, who have the most consistent receiver in the NFL in Justin Jefferson. Don't know if you've heard of him. And then at running back, they have our man Aaron Jones, and they just traded for Jordan Mason. Is that correct? There you go. The O-line's solid. Maybe you can call it great, too, if you want to. I don't know much ball about their O-line. Great.
It's great. Very,
Approved
very,
by Metro.
Arguably might be the best offensive line. I would still give it to Denver, but it's damn good.
Okay.
Damn good.
Fire me up, Metro. They have the best O-line in the nation, he says. But they have a quarterback, a Gen Z quarterback, that damn Gen Z, man. They don't know what they're doing. They don't care. They just care about work-life balance. No, I'm just kidding. But we do have J.J. McCarthy here. We have a lot of questions. But everything else is pretty fantastic. How high do we rank him? Are we going to be – what did you say?
Said fantastic.
Fantastic? Huh? What did you think I said?
No, nothing. It's fantastic, man.
Are you saying they're going to be fantastic?
They'll be fantastic. they'll get in the comments below. Somebody will get it.
Gotta say.
I'm a little slow, as you know, Metro. I got CT. So you're saying
Millennial
unstoppable is what I hear.
Say
Maybe top 1, top 2, not 2, top 1?
Hey, if McCarthy's a god, then if McCarthy's a top 10 quarterback, this offense would be insane.
It's true. It's true.
But I don't know what I'm getting from JJ, so I think we kind of have to put him kind of in the same boat as Atlanta in a lot of ways, where it's like very talented unit, great offensive line, great pieces. You know, quarterback could be ass. You know, we don't know.
Wait, quick question. Is Fantastic a reference to the movie Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
Okay, I see it this Friday. Don't spoil anything. I'm excited to see it.
I just watched it last night. Dude, so good. So good.
Really?
Like,
Is Marvel back?
listen, I've liked a lot of what Marvel's done lately. I watched Superman. Superman was good. Fantastic Four was like a lot better for me. Now I'm a Marvel guy, so I always kind of prefer Marvel over DC, but I really like Superman too. Did you see Superman?
Haven't, no.
Oh, dude. All right, do a double on the same day. Just go watch Superman first. You know, go home, rest, think about it. Go back, watch Fantastic Four, double popcorn. You know, get the big old popcorn buckets they're selling nowadays. They have a Galactus one that's like $80. You got to get that one, dude.
The Big Back Meal, is that what you're saying?
Shoot, big back meal, get you your own little personal pizza. Butter up the popcorn.
Okay. Audience, if you're watching to this point in the video, we're 40 minutes in. Am I psychotic? I can't do back-to-back movies in the theater, or just at all. I can't watch back-to-back movies. I have to stand up. I have to walk around. I'm weird like that, but Metro's for it. Are you with or against back-to-back movies at any point in the life? Drop it in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts, because I think I'm just crazy. Maybe Metro's crazy. Who knows? But I'm fired up for Fantastic Four. And I'm also fired up for the Vikings offense. You said at the bottom of great, correct? To transition right back into this?
I would put the bottom of good. Right. Well, that's tough, man. No, they're better than that. I mean, they were 9th in points per game last year with Sam Darnold, so I got to give
Sam
him
was going
flowers.
crazy, though.
I know he was, but like JJ's more talent. Well, maybe not more talented. Darnold was.
You said Penix is more talented.
Ooh, I did say that. I did say that. But I 10 times prefer the coaching staff and some of the personnel in Minnesota. It's tough. I mean, this is just, close your eyes blindly, shake your mouse, and just throw it there. That's what we do.
Cool. Let's put him right here in between KC and the Cardinals. Next, we have the Patriots. And the Patriots got an overhaul with their new coach in Mr. Vrabel. Drake May, going to be in year 2, sophomore year. And he's got some more weapons on the team. He's got some more running backs on the team. The O-line's improving. The team's taking small strides forward. But how much do they move forward in year 2? I think it's going to be a big step, but a big step is to average for me. And I think the defense is just going to go crazy. But Metro, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like what they're building there. I still have some questions with the offensive line. Stephon Diggs has looked good so far in camp. Can he stay healthy for the full season? There'll be some struggles here and there from May, but I've liked what I've seen from him so far in his career. The Travion Henderson pick will pay dividends. It's a talented enough offense to get the job done, but it's not a quite yet there offense. I think that I have to probably put them in average, and I think it'd be probably best suited to maybe the back end of average.
It might be meh. Like, I feel better about the Raiders and Jacksonville. I don't know about the Colts, but that's just my thoughts.
I would still put him in average, like in the back end of it. I do think that I feel better about the Raiders and Jacksonville and Indianapolis and Chicago, but I'm not. It's not like a huge margin. It's pretty close for me. I like what New England's done so far. I still worry about the offensive line quite a bit, though. That's kind of be my going to be a bit of a holdback for me.
Understandable. Marginal improvements, and then by year 3, this could be something very special on the offensive side of the ball for the Patriots, holding down today the back of the average tier. Next, we have the New Orleans Saints with Tyler Shuck. I'm just going to come out and say it. I think it's going to be meh. I think they have a quarterback that's going to be put in a hot seat where he has to perform. Is that fair to him? I don't know. But we will see here pretty fast. I like Kamara. I like the O-line they're building. If Olave could stay healthy and not get a hospital ball, he'd be a lot better off. I would go back of average to meh, but if the stats say differently, Metro, tell me.
Well, stats are a little skewed because that was all Derek Carr, basically. And even with Derek Carr, they were where were they? I'm struggling to find them. They were...
Guys, luckily for you...
Oh, 24th. 19.9.
19.9, 24th in the league?
Yes.
There you go. What would you put him now, though? Like, this is hard.
I would put him in meh. I trust Carolina a bit more. I'm not a big shot guy, but I do actually like kind of some of the things that they're building in New Orleans. They have an offensive-minded head coach, 28-year-old quarterback in Tyler Shock. How old is Tyler Shock? He's like 25, 24, something like that.
He's like 24, yeah.
Which is insane for a rookie. But circumstances with him, I understand. And then, a lot of questions with the receiving core. Can they just stay on the field? And you got to work that offensive line out. It's still very young. I like the future of it, but it's still young. So the big thing is just I can't trust Tyler Shock quite to the level that I can trust other quarterbacks. So for me, it goes into meh.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I think this O-line keeps him out of questions everywhere. If it wasn't that, then we'd be moving him down. Next, we have the New York Giants. They got their head quarterback. Gotta stop saying that. They got their quarterback in Jackson Dart in the first round this year. They got Russell Wilson. They got Jameis Winston. The options are endless. But if you don't have a quarterback, do you have a singular quarterback? You got too many on the roster, not a head guy. But they got Malik Neighbors. That guy's sick. They got Tyron Tracy. They got Cam Scattaboo. The O-line, it's okay. When you have your left tackle and he's healthy, you're feeling really good. But he's not very healthy a lot. But this one's hard, Metro. I need a reason to put them above meh, unless you feel strongly about something.
Oh, man, 16.1 points per game, 31st. So second to only Cleveland in the bottom tier.
Ass.
It's tough. I think there'll be a better unit with Russell Wilson. I mean, you were throwing Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito out there last year, just not good quarterbacks. Neighbors takes a step forward. I think the running game will take a step forward. I think the offensive line could take a step forward, maybe not like a huge one. Brian Dable has to coach well. It goes for me in meh, because frankly, I don't actually have a lot of questions for them because they have a quarterback in the fold they're building around. You have your wide receiver one. Tight end's a bit of a question mark. Interior offensive line's a question mark, but you have your franchise left tackle. I don't really have a ton of questions, right? Cleveland, I have a question basically at every single position besides tight end. New York, I don't really have the same questions there.
I feel that a lot. The Giants are a team that are actually on the come up. Well, they should because they're in like year 4 now of the whole franchise.
I mean, Cleveland's been rebuilding for 30 years. And they have seen no progress. So
negative. The Giants feel like they're on their way, but it's just like in a make or break year for them, which just sucks. If they held with this regime, it might stay and stick.
It feels a little bit too late right now, almost. Like they're just starting to get good, but then you look at the schedule, you're like, nah, not happening, buddy.
It's over. Like they were screwed before they could take a snap in July. So I put them above the Saints just because I trust Wilson more than Shuck. But what are your thoughts?
Yep, I would put them right there. I think you could even make the argument in front of Carolina, but I'm cool with where they're at. I just think Carolina's going to be pretty fun next year.
Cool. Let's put them behind Carolina and in front of the Saints in the mid tier. Next, we got the Jets, the New York Jets. You got Justin Fields. I saw a toe injury, but he's all good, correct, Metro?
Mm-hmm. He was jumping around, looking good out there.
Love to hear that. Jumping, ready to go. Jumping correlates to throwing the football, as we all know, so it's going to be a great year for that man, Justin Fields. This team's in a full-on rebuild. But you got Garrett Wilson. You have Brees, who's kind of taken steps back over the past couple of years, but he has talent regardless. He's no bum at running back whatsoever. This guy can play. But, I would put him in meh, but unless you feel strongly to put him higher, I will.
Nope. I'm not a Fields guy. I think he's uber talented, and, if they can build the system around his athleticism and some of the pros to his game, then cool. I would put them in front or behind New York. I guess the two New York teams right next to each other. You have your wide receiver 1 in Garrett Wilson. You ain't got shit outside of him. You got Mason Taylor. I like your offensive line. You have 2 young tackles. I think you have a nice group of running backs. Fields is cool. I don't think Fields is a difference maker enough. So I would put them in meh, and I think that I just trust Russell Wilson a little bit more. So
I'm right there with you, man. And hot take, I think Malik Neighbors is going to be better than Garrett Wilson over the next couple of years. So even at their strength,
already.
Yeah,
exactly. I think he is.
There you go. So at their strength, I think even they top that with the team across the pond in the Giants. Here we have the Philadelphia Eagles up next. And Metro, where are they going, man? Let's cut the shit.
Unstoppable. In front of Detroit. Well, no, in front of Buffalo. Right behind Baltimore, though.
The two birds holding it up at the top. Do we have to talk about this, or do Philly fans know they're pretty good? We don't have to glaze them.
Saquon. Let's have the conversation. Cam Newton or Jalen Hurts? Who's the better quarterback?
Today?
In prime Cam Newton versus prime Jalen Hurts. So let me give you the origin story.
Conversation on the InstaSnap Facebook right now. Is that a thing on Twitter?
So Cam Newton has his own podcast, and I guess he came out and said that Hurts wasn't a top 10 quarterback or something along those lines. And he basically called him, a system quarterback, meaning he does his job, but he's not a difference maker. He's not Lamar. He's not this or that. And so the big debate online is, Eagles fans are a little butthurt about it, and so they're saying, no, Jalen Hurts is the GOAT, and he's better than you. When any fan who has watched football prior to 2020 could tell you, prime Cam Newton was a difference maker. Like he was. He 2015 and even like before they became really good, that dude was ridiculous, dude. He was what Josh Allen in a lot of ways is today. Not as good as Josh Allen, but like very similar, on par. The dude won an MVP for a reason. He was in a Super Bowl. Like those Panthers teams were throwing out some hot ass surrounding him. He had no A.J. Brown. He had no great offensive line. He had no Saquon Barkley. The defense, yes, but he never had this much talent. Look, I love Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is in my top 10 quite comfortably, but that whole debate, look, Eagles fans, chill out, man. Eagles fans, chill. It's not even close.
Guys, you've won 2 Super Bowls in the past couple years. Just shut the hell up and go watch some Cam Newton. Number 1, carried the Panthers. As Metro mentioned, they were hot garbage, man. They had some talent, of course, around them. They had third leg Greg, of course, Greg Olsen, who was just an absolute monster. G-Reg, as he likes to call himself.
Can I tell you the depth chart for that 2015 team?
Actually, yeah, it's gonna make me laugh. Go ahead.
Let me see if I can pull it up here.
Somebody yap for a second about our promotion?
I got it. Yeah, go ahead. I got it right now.
Guys, we love making content for you on this channel together, but we also make our own content. Metro at MetroSports makes his own NFL analysis content. Fantastic stuff. Go subscribe in the description down below. And if you want to change of pace on some more NFL draft content, go sub to my channel at Cade Rathbone in the description as well. Thank you all very much. If you're enjoying the video, please drop a like. Y'all are the best. Metro, take it away.
2015, this was Cam Newton, almost 4,000 passing yards, 35 touchdowns, 10 picks, 636 rushing yards with an additional 10 rushing touchdowns. This is the team around him. Greg Olsen, great player. Jonathan Stewart had less than 1,000 yards. His number 2 receiver was Ted Ginn Jr. His third receiver was Jericho Cotchery. His fourth biggest receiver was Devin Funches, the tight end.
Yeah, I remember
you had Mike Tolbert. You had Fozzie Whitaker was on this team. Guys, there's not a single A.J. Brown. There's not a single Saquon Barkley. Love you, Jonathan Stewart. No, there's not even a skinny Batman. There's some decent players here. Greg Olsen's great, but come on, guys. Let's stop it. Let's stop the BS here. Stu Cam Newton was a difference guy. He was just different.
Super Cam, baby. Let's put the Eagles here at 2 next to the Baltimore Ravens. And if you still think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback, just unsubscribe right now because you're an absolute clown. Here we go on to the next team. We have the Steelers. The Steelers lost Russell Wilson. Oh, man, just a sad loss. But they gained the happiest man of them all in Aaron Rodgers. They also acquired DK Metcalf and sent away George Pickens. The Steelers have been busy this offseason, which I haven't said much in my life. Where do we put him, Metro? This is a whole lot of projecting right here.
Yeah, they were 20th in points per game last year with, a really bad situation. I don't love this offense. You got a 41-year-old, about to be 42-year-old quarterback or something like that.
Damn.
Maybe 40, turning 41. He's old, right? And he can't move as well as he used to. He's still got a good arm. He can still make the throws. There's not as much velocity on them, not as much zip on them, but he still has it here and there where you can see, that's vintage A-Rod, but, he's fallen off a cliff a little bit. I like Caleb Johnson. I think the combination of Warren and Johnson is going to be pretty neat. Offensive line, very suspect. I like the interior. I worry a lot about those two young tackles because, I just have a feeling you're going to see Rodgers under a ton of pressure. And then outside of DK Metcalf, I'm just not seeing a bunch of difference makers. Roman Wilson, we'll see. Who's the other guy? Calvin Austin. Robert freaking Woods is still a starter. Like, guys, Robert Woods is also almost 40 years old. So, look, it's better than meh. I would maybe put it in front of average, maybe? I don't know, something like that. Put it in the middle of average is where I'd put it at.
I think we got to go BTJ and Hunter ahead of the Unction, right? There's no way we put the Unction ahead of them.
The Unction is what we will from now on call the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Let's put the Unction behind the Jacksonville Jaguars in the average tier and ahead of the Raiders. Next, we have the Seattle Seahawks. They got Sam Darnold. They got JSN. They trade away DK Metcalf. And you got Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker. You got talent at weapons. The O-line got a little bit better with their first-round pick. But what were the numbers, Metro? Keep me honest.
17 points per game, so about league average. Look, if you are a fantasy football player, make sure you draft Jackson Smith and Jigba. Dude's going to go for a crap ton of points.
Fire me up.
It out there.
Fire me up. I love the fantasy advice.
I would, I don't really know where I'd put them at, to be honest with you. I would,
They got to be above the Colts, right?
Yeah, they're definitely above. They're in the back end of good range. I guess the question is, do I prefer them over Houston, which I don't. Do I prefer them over Atlanta? Not necessarily. It's a toss-up.
Yeah, I'll take Bajan and Drake London alone
I do too.
over what they have.
Yeah, and I like some of the pieces there. I think the receiving core should be fun as hell. Elijah Arroyo at tight end could be pretty sweet. Offensive line just has to stay healthy, which is the big one, and Darnold has to prove himself to us. And so they're teetering on average for me, frankly.
Let's put them in average. I think that makes more sense.
I 100%
more sense.
agree.
And I'd rather put the Bears ahead if that's okay with you. I think the Bears have just way more talent.
That works. Yep.
All right, let's put the Bears. What were you saying? Go ahead, King.
I forgot.
Man, groundbreaking announcement right here from Metro. Let's put the Seahawks in second behind the Bears in average tier and in front of the Colts. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers. You got your tackling Trent Williams. You got Brock Purdy, who just got paid out the ass, man. This guy is collecting a bag. Ayuk, questions. He's hurt, right? Still going into the season. Jennings wants a contract. Ricky just came off the pup to start now again. A lot of questions rolling into the season, and the biggest one of them all is Christian McCaffrey. Double arthritis, is that correct, in both ankles or something like that? It sounds scary because it is scary. Can we get one more great season out of him? That is what the whole offense is going to be relying on. Metro, this is a dart throw. Where do you want to throw it?
Man, I wish I could put them in questions everywhere because they have questions everywhere. But
they do.
They're not Cleveland bad. All right, so we can't put that there. It's just a name for shitty offense. Questions everywhere. It's just a temporary name. Man, they have a ton of questions they have to answer. Like a ton. That offensive line is cheeks. That Trent Williams, can he stay healthy? McCaffrey, can he stay healthy? Ayuk, can he stay healthy? Jawan Jennings, I think he'll be on the team. Can Ricky Pearsall step up? Kittle's there. He's sweet. And then Brock Purdy's there. He's pretty good. Man, you got to give them their flowers, though. They are San Francisco.
I'll say average. I think there's too many variables. I'd rather have hot take. I'd rather have Jacksonville and the Steelers. The Unction, my bad, is the line for me. I think there's more stability than the Steelers.
Kyle Shanahan, though, he kind of is that little X factor that can keep them afloat. Like, they were still the 14th best offense last year with all the injuries and all the chaos. So I'll give him the respect. I think you have to put him in top of average or bottom of good. Just out of pure like salute to them. Like, hey, shout out, man. You did your thing.
Let's give him a little shout out. Let's put San Fran, Kyle Shanahan in the back of the good tier and move on to the Tampa Bay Bucks, who are a high-flying, Showtime. What did they call the Clippers back in the day with Blake Griffin?
Lob City?
Bro, they are Lob City of the NFL, man.
That is a elite comparison. I am going to run with that. They are the LA Clippers. They like that Clippers team was so fun to watch and so good, but my God, they could never get over the hump there. That is the Buccaneers, like defined
to a T.
I'm
glad you like the comp.
They're great, man. They're a great offense.
They can play.
Liam Cohen's not there, but are you that worried about it? I'm really not.
No, I'm not. Baker's feeling dangerous, but how dangerous? I don't feel unstoppable, but I'd put them. I'd put them above the Rams, somewhere between the Packers. What do you think?
I'd put them in front of Packers.
Let's fucking go. Let's put the Bucks right here next to the Bengals, and it's just hard to beat the Bengals with that trio they have. Bucks looking strong, Lob City of the NFL. Let's go to the Tennessee Titans, and besides quarterback and a little bit of the O-line, questions everywhere.
They're also a little bit older.
What'd you say?
They're also a tad bit old. Calvin Ridley's in his 30s. Pollard's tail end of his career.
That's crazy to think Pollard's getting old, man. Maybe we're the Unction. This is getting ridiculous.
Well, old for running back years.
That's fair.
I'm 23, and I'm old for a running back.
Yeah, you're on the sunset of your career, buddy. We feel better about the Titans, though, than the Browns, correct? I think that kind of goes without saying. I like the leader, Cam Ward, is becoming day by day. We'll put him right here in questions everywhere.
No, I don't. I think they're better than. I think the Browns should be the only team in questions everywhere, which feels like we're bullying them. But it's like
I'm all about it.
I think they should be. Ooh, it's really close between them and the Saints. Let's give respect to Cam Ward. He's the better prospect than Tyler Shock. I think he's a better prospect than Justin Fields.
Metro has.
Oh, wait, one more. He's much better than Jackson Dart.
This is crazy. You look at the roster, and I say, Metro, you're stupid. But I think we're having too much fun here. I totally agree. Let's put Cam Ward ahead of these three teams. An absolute jump from questions everywhere to second place in Met, just behind the Carolina Panthers. All because they took Cam Ward first overall. Next, they have our last team, the Commanders, the Commies. They have Jaden Daniels, and he looked really, really nice. Does he have a sophomore slump is the question mark. Can Terry McLaurin get paid and settle on a contract by the time the season starts? Sources say yes, but you just never know. They got an awesome left tackle in Tunsil. I think they're great, unless you feel differently, Metro.
Yeah, I was going to probably say great. I feel like, okay, we'll do it at the end, because I want to make a few changes to this list, because I think we should, there's a team that I think should be moved up, but we'll get to that here in just a moment. Washington, I think they should be, I like them right there. I think that's like the perfect spot for them. You know, that sort of really good offense, not quite unstoppable. A couple questions here and there, but you have a stud quarterback, a great wide receiver one, if he's, there, good offensive line, and a great offensive coordinator. So, yeah, I like the spot there.
Cooking with gas. Metro and I are completely aligned. Now, guys, as Metro mentioned, it's time for the best part of this tier ranking. We're going to go line by line from bottom to top and change any ranking we want without anybody's opinion. We get to do it. We get to make it happen, and it's finalized immediately. Metro, let's start at the bottom. Questions everywhere. We have the Cleveland Browns by themselves. Are we going to save them from purgatory, or are we going to keep them right here where they belong?
Nope, they are the one team that has question marks in almost every single position outside of tight end. So, no.
Eat shit, die, Cleveland. We're on to Met here, and we have the Panthers, the Titans, the Giants, the Jets, and the Saints. Any moves here, Metro?
Yeah, move Tennessee back one. Sorry, I'm just not a fan of Dart, but they have a better offense.
Fair is fair. I agree with you there. And I'm going to make going to move Titans right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to put.
I'm good with that if you feel like that.
No, I don't. I mean, I can't move your moves, and also I agree with what you said. I'm going to leave meh. I think we have it right perfectly.
Do you think Carolina moves up one, or are you fine where they're at?
Is that what your kicker was, or is there something?
No,
else?
my kicker is a little bit up the board here, but I'm fine either way with Carolina. They could be a below average offense. They could be a good to average offense. It's really tight for me.
When you say it like that, they belong here, not here. This is lot, not questions everywhere, but a lot of questions. Just a couple questions for the Panthers, honestly. So let's put them up here in the average tier.
Just Bryce Young.
Just Bryce Young.
Are
Just
you good, bro?
Yep, that's right. Carry the team on your back. Next, we have the average tier. We got the Bears, the Hawks, the Colts, Jacksonville, Steelers, Raiders, Patriots, and the Panthers, who just got moved up. Any moves here, Metro?
No, I like this one. I think it's the only one I'd consider would be Las Vegas moving forward, one or two, but I feel pretty good with where they're at.
I'm going to move. Cold take. Don't really care. I'm moving the Colts behind the Unction. I think I like the upside on the Steelers more than the Colts, which is kind of crazy because AR is just all upside, but that's just kind of where I stand. You ready to go to good?
Yes.
Here's the good tier.
This is where I want to make my I'm going to move the Chargers up one.
Ooh, good tier. The Chargers are the forefront of it, and Metro wants to move them all the way to great. Anywhere higher than that, Metro, or just move them to the back of great?
Just in the back end right there.
Approved. Fire me up. Metro knows how I feel about the Chargers. Now the good tier remains the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Vikings, the Cardinals, the Cowboys, the Dolphins, the Texans, the Falcons, and the 49ers. Any moves I want to make here? I don't know, Jim. I'd move the Dolphins back one just because we got a lot of questions on this team, and I'm going to call that good.
Yep.
Next, let's go to the great tier. Bengals, Bucks, Packers, Rams, Commanders, and the Chargers, who just got moved there. Any moves here, Metro, at all?
The only one I'd consider would be moving the Rams above the Packers, but I feel like it's fine the way it is.
Yeah, it's like take it or leave it, you know? Would you consider moving the Bengals to unstoppable?
See, I thought that, but they are stoppable just because they don't have any like dominant rushing attack, and I don't believe in this offensive line. So I considered it, but I think they're suited right there.
Well said. You're right. We did talk about that earlier. They are pretty one-dimensional. Now, their one dimension is Joe Burrow, and that's a bad, bad man, but there is a way to stop them when it's 4th and 1, and you know they're running the ball. Next, we have unstoppable, and our final top four. We have the Baltimore Ravens, the Eagles, the Bills, and the Lions. Any movement here, Metro, or you want to lock it in?
Nope, I feel good. The only one maybe is you could argue Lions over Buffalo, but no, I think I feel pretty good about that one.
Approved, locked, and sealed. Guys, this is our final offensive rankings in the NFL. Comment down below what you thought. Who's too high? Who's too low? Let us know in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this episode and this kind of content, please drop a like. It helps the algorithm out tremendously. Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys more than you know. Hope you'll have the best day. Love y'all. Metro, say goodbye to the people.
Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.